Girls LLC.
Well, welcome back to another episode of Two Valley Girls LLC. We are here in the market on the couch, and today we have Ellie with us from Dry in the Desert. Dry in the Desert is an alcohol-free lifestyle community.
Yes, Ellie, thanks for being here with us. You are many things. You are a host and a promoter for alcohol-free events, and you also provide resources and services within, the beverage world related to alcohol-free options. And so we're on the same page here with providing more options to people who are looking for no booze. We've got plenty of things. So tell us what you're up to now with Dry in the Desert. What's going on in your world?
Yes, I will. Well, thank you for inviting me into the market. Always lovely to be here. And you are right about that. You guys are always doing the most to stay up with the non-alcoholic beverage scene, and I love it. Excited to talk more about Monsoon as well. With Dry in the Desert right now, I'm really looking to, kind of like you mentioned, of getting more into the promoting scene and consulting scene a little bit to keep supporting the restaurants, shops, people of Phoenix area, helping people improve their non-alcoholic menus, having a non-alcoholic selection in general if they want to host alcohol-free events in their space, non-alcoholic cocktail nights or pairings at restaurants. I think those things are really desired by this community who are either looking to drink less alcohol or already don't drink alcohol and want to feel included in some of those events that are often centered around alcohol. I think decentralizing it in some of the celebratory ways and social ways that can really help just improve like social situations and make people feel really included in your environment. So rather than doing all of my own events or like just through Dry in the Desert only, I'm really trying to like team up and collaborate with more people in Phoenix. I really enjoy that the most, I think, when I do events that, hopefully I can start doing that with more restaurants and brands that are here local that want to up their game.
Yeah. We've had you in the market a handful of times at our events, whether it's like a sip and spin or like a collaborative event with other vendors and pop-ups. It's been awesome to have you host a non-alcoholic, tasting of sorts. I think we've done a handful of different brands with you, and it's just so nice to have you in the store to create that hub for people where you can share some new things with people, whether they are coming in specifically for an NA or whether they're just like, oh, what is that? Tell me about it. Let me try it, So it's always been awesome to have that NA option within the market for us, since we were an NA shop before we were a bottle shop,
Yeah, because I'm sure you got to do that before having a liquor license, right? You can kind of start with that way. And I always appreciated that about here, that like a good amount of your space is non-alcoholic products, and it's not about it being like a side piece or just having a few options to like say you have a few options. Like you said, it's like you guys are really all in on it, and even the way you like promote non-alcoholic options, and when you have events you're always quick to say like, we're having a wine and NA tasting. It's so equal opportunity, I feel like, here in the shop. That is why I love it so much, and so many other people do too.
Aw,
Thank you.
Yeah.
It only makes sense to us to go hand in hand. Like, if you're going to have a gathering of people, there needs to be options for everyone. And so whether that means you're sober and not drinking at all, or you do drink and like us, I would like maybe a glass of wine and then a non-alcoholic option. There just needs to be better more and interesting adult options, which luckily we're finding now.
Yeah, what's up with like the apple cider and like just like the juice options?
Soda.
It's like I'm a grown up. I just don't want a beer, so I don't need a sparkling apple juice instead. Although no shade, I love sparkling apple juice, but
Right.
like what's up with like, you know, the category, right? It was just kind of like not mature. It was like, oh, you're not drinking? Well, here's a kid's drink for you, you know? And we're so far from that now, which is awesome. And like, you know, now there's like real dupes for people who want a spirit tasting drink, you know? So many different like subcategories within the NA space. And I think we should talk about like,
we should talk about that. Like,
break it apart.
I guess break it down. If somebody asks you, what is an NA beverage? What does that mean? What do you respond with?
Yeah, it's stands for non-alcoholic, which is technically anything non-alcoholic has less than 0.5% alcohol by volume to be qualified as non-alcoholic. So sometimes it's something that started with alcohol and was de-alcoholized. Sometimes it's something that was fermented a little bit, but not enough to create alcohol over that level. And sometimes it's just other flavors and ingredients put together to kind of mimic, more a certain flavor profile that might be more sophisticated, but never contained alcohol to begin with. So, and there's so many different flavors and options and types of beverages now, which is incredible, but I can see how it might be confusing or like to navigate when you're first learning about it or stepping your foot into that arena. So that's kind of the gist of it, is that is the alcohol by volume percentage, but it would never, at that percentage, you can never become inebriated, like no matter how much you can drink. So I think it's like really feels like a safe option for people who don't drink alcohol or don't want to, or like on medication, pregnant, things like that, to where it's like even that number is just, that it's that classification can feel like a safe option for people.
It is kind of overwhelming. It sounds obvious, like NA, non-alcoholic beverage, like water, like soda, juice, but anything. Because it has been now created into a whole category, one that we have like niched ourselves or like specialized in. When people come in, they see the beverage fridges, they're like, what are all of these drinks? Like, why do you have so many options? You know, like if these aren't alcohol, then like how could all of these be like different from each other? And I feel like we like take their hand. Like Michelle will like come up to somebody and be like, okay, what are you feeling today? Do you want caffeine? Do you need a pick-me-up? Are you trying to chill? Like, do you want something to taste like alcohol but not have it? Like, are you looking for a functional beverage of like adaptogens and nootropics? There's so many different ingredients that make up a really great NA. And like, that's part of what we've really learned with our customers is like, why is this different from the next? Who would this drink be for? What scenario is this NA best for me versus this one? And so like the options are endless, and there is really a different beverage for like every moment.
Yeah. And that's, I think, what's so cool about non-alcoholic beverages, and like you're saying, functional beverages, like no shade on alcohol, but you can only have one feeling from alcohol. Like you can only gain one feeling. You might feel it in different ways depending how much you drink, but like the end feeling is only like, it's like euphoric and then like inebriated and then maybe coming down from that. Where non-alcoholic, like you said, it's like how you get to ask the option, how do you want to feel? And like choose your beverage based on that. And it could be to relax, or it could be to feel more energetic for a night out. All sorts of options, in between and around there. It might just be that you don't want to feel either of those things, or you don't want to feel any sort of caffeinated or anything like that, and then you would reach for like a non-alcoholic beer or wine that is just the flavor replacement or something cold and refreshing. So I think that's what's like really exciting about it, and the non-alcoholic beverage industry has caught on to that, to where there's just like power in it that you can do whatever you want, like make something that makes people feel a certain way.
I think that's like you broke it down finally. So I realized I'm like always wondering, why do I have so much fun walking people through the non-alcoholics? Because like I'm a wine girly, I'm a beer girly. Most nights I go for alcohol, but I have so much fun walking people through the NA fridge. And that's why it's like you can help them get to whatever destination they want to through a beverage and like through a really tasty, well-crafted, thoughtful drink. Like how fun is that?
Yeah, and the experience of it is like what it's all about, right? So even if you want to say the ingredients maybe aren't strong enough to knock you out like another like substance might, it's more about the experience and that it's promoting that feeling of goodness, whether it be in like a energetic way or a calm way. That I think that's more important than it has this high amount that actually makes you like sleepy. You know, if that makes sense. I think it's the purpose that it's going for, I guess.
Yeah.
People do ask that. They're like, oh, you know, it has this ingredient in it. Is this going to like make me fall asleep while I'm driving? You know?
Yeah.
Like people are like, it's funny how more inquisitive they are about something that's non-alcoholic versus something that is alcoholic. They're like more afraid to drive on a CBD drink than they are after like a beer. Yeah. And I'm like, it's going to be fine. Like the ashwagandha isn't going to like make you see stars, you know, like you're going to be okay, Sharon. You're going to be okay.
That is so true.
But I mean, it's valid because it's a new thing for people. And, you know, they don't know as much about it. Alcohol is like so widely accessible. It's everywhere. And it's so incorporated into everybody's, like, not everybody's, but a lot of people's lives, you know? And it's interesting, I think, for them to like wrap their head around an entirely new set of ingredients that are now in drinks that they can enjoy.
Right, like adaptogens. That's still a word that we're defining daily for people. Do you get that question a lot?
Yeah,
like, what
for
are
sure.
adaptogens?
I try to summarize it in
are
like a
adaptogens?
sentence, of their roots and herbs that come from the ground that affect the body's homeostasis, like can bring you back to homeostasis. The way I was explained to about it is kind of, if you're feeling agitated, they can help you feel more calm. If you're feeling like lethargic, it brings you back to center, whichever way you're kind of feeling. So it's not an upper or a downer. It's like a balancing thing, which I think is a nice way to understand it. Yeah, because I'm same. It can be confusing for sure, especially with many different ones.
Yeah,
that's a great definition of it.
Yeah, steal it.
Yeah, I'm gonna borrow that. Thank you.
And it's interesting because like there's certain ingredients that we've noticed are really often put in things together, like beverages together. And we taste test everything we get into the market, especially beverages. We're actually pretty intense when it comes to the beverage testing because we only have so much space too. So it's like, you know, we're not going to buy a new fridge because brands keep coming out with CBD sodas. Like we're going to find the best ones we can that are the right price point and of that value to like our customer. And so we always ask for samples on beverages, and we're not going to bring it in unless we truly as a team stand behind it. It's crazy how many drinks we get that will just be like doing so much. It's like, can it be too much? And I guess that's a question for you. When it comes to the ingredient list and all of the desired feelings, what do you think?
I think that's possible to be doing too much. Yes. And probably possible to do not enough and charge $6 a can and with nothing in it. So I think there's both ends of the spectrum in the non-alcoholic beverage industry. But yeah, I'm trying to think if there's really like an example, or if I even want to call one out if I could think of it. But I'm sure there is an instance where there's too much in there. I think where I find the ick is like certain beverages really trying hard to use ingredients that might mimic like an alcoholic feel that I'm like, I would just drink alcohol if I wanted to like feel that way. I don't know. Like it's almost doing to where they're just really trying to like be alcohol without being alcohol. Yeah. And maybe that comes from a personal perspective of being like, since I don't drink, I don't want to feel any sort of outside of my mind or like crazy too much. Yeah. Like
the mind altering effects.
Yeah.
You know, like, it's definitely a preference of like what you're looking for. And that is something that we find from, you know, some people who are shopping NAs. Like, why are you shopping for NA and like, what are you avoiding? You know, and what are you looking for?
Yeah. Yeah. And so that's a great question to ask, because maybe there are people who are like really just adverse to alcohol or abstaining from it for a certain reason, but do want they might want something with CBD or THC in it even, and that's good for them. And so that works. But yeah, I think there can be too much. Do you guys think, or like, do you think of one?
Well,
I'm like eyeing the fridge. Like,
sure.
Is there anyone over there that
not
I
here?
I don't think
here.
So.
That's doing too much. They're all doing just enough.
Yes,
exactly.
Agreed.
I have no idea even what the name of it was, but there was, you know, one or two that just had CBD and caffeine and ashwagandha. It's like, how do you want me to feel at the end of this? You know, like, am I going to be caffeinated or calm, or like, if it's all going to level me out in the middle, what's the point?
Yeah, should I just drink water?
Yeah, I probably should.
Like, yeah,
that's definitely it.
So
I think so. I'm sure it all comes down to the way the brand is like presenting itself and the way they approach you. I've been approached by brands in a way of like just a DM, let me send you samples. And I'm like, you could say hello first. Like, I'm good on this. I've tried many drinks. I don't just like need your samples so bad. So I think brand approach is like a big thing for me. I think in this space specifically, I'm sure you guys find like a lot of the founders are the ones emailing you and having like the relationship with you. And I love that about it. And it makes it stand out when there's someone who's kind of like there for the wrong reason, or trying to make money on the NA industry because it's popping off. But it becomes pretty obvious, I think, in the taste too. I'm glad you guys taste everything you put on the shelf, because that is number one.
You really have to, or else you're going to get catfished. With a shop like Monsoon Market, where we want everything to look, you know, as interesting, as exciting, as cool and fun as possible, we get sent definitely some things that there's not as much substance to it, or it is like just not the right price point, or it's just not good.
It's not good.
You know, but yeah, we don't want our customers to get catfish and buy, especially like a $6 beverage, you know, like, because you're not drinking, you want to try something new, and then you get it and it tastes awful, or it has like tons of weird ingredients in it. Like, it's important to us to make sure that the brand gets through us first, the products. Like, we really are like promoters of it.
Absolutely. I mean, even when people bring things to the counter, you know, I think of kin. Every time someone brings one of the kins up that has caffeine in it, I ask, have you had this before? Because I want to point out it has caffeine in it, you know, just in case that's not something you're looking for. You know, we want people to really enjoy the beverage they're buying. I don't want them to leave and not like its flavor or the effects it has.
Yes. Yeah. And that's part of it, is like the education piece is really huge. And I think you have a great opportunity to do that here in person, having an in-person shop, where online becomes a little bit harder. That's what I was doing for a little while as part of Dry in the Desert, was doing online sales and kind of trying to provide that convenience of like delivery and pickup options, which still worked great. But I think that's a part that was missing, is like the in-person interaction and experience. But education is like such an important piece of the non-alcoholic beverages for that reason. Or like, are you buying this because you're pregnant? You shouldn't have something with ashwagandha in it. Like, so say doctors, you know, I'm not, don't ask me, but you know, like, those are the things where it's not just like, oh, because it's non-alcoholic, like this is good for you. Like, there is actually things that people should be educated on, and not just grab something. Yeah, so it's like a great practice, I think, to be educating on the fly, even if you weren't asked, I guess.
You know, skipping out on the alcohol does not mean skipping out on the fun. Join us for a party all month long at Monsoon Market. It's Sober October. Keep your options open. Try something new. I guarantee we have something to keep you busy without the booze.
And I think it's time, we have some beverages for us to enjoy. So in my super cute Bagu cooler.
So cute.
We picked out some things. I know some you've tried before, but maybe some are new to you. And so let's see what we have. We have Uso, okay. Kin Euphorics, a classic and a favorite.
Mm-hmm.
This is newer to us.
Yeah.
Good Spirits. And then we have Leisure, a market staple.
Yes.
And then Hiyo. So
all great choices.
have you
Great
tried all
brands.
these?
I have.
Of course you have.
I know. I'm trying to think if there's I've definitely tried all the brands. If I've tried each flavor. What flavor is the Hiyo?
So this is their newer one. It's strawberry guava.
Okay, haven't tried that flavor.
Okay,
so
cool.
One I haven't tasted yet.
So let's do some taste testing and some show and tell of, I guess, our favorite market beverages.
Do it.
I'm gonna put these cups up here because one of my favorite things to do is open an NA from a can and put it in a glass that we can see the color and really smell it, because these do have such awesome ingredients in them that make them really interesting. So should we start with Uso?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, let's start with
Let's do
Uso. So Uso is a sparkling tea. That's the base of it. It is adaptogenic. And so just to let everyone know, there's ingredients like L-theanine in here, ashwagandha, and then of course there's vitamin C and some great things. But
Vitamin C is healthy.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Healthy. I do describe this as drinking your vitamins sometimes to people when I describe what ingredients are used to make some of these beverages.
Yeah, such a great point. I love functional beverages
Cheers.
because of that reason.
Yeah. We all
it's gotta
have to smell.
We have to. I
It's-
love the smell.
It smells like
I do
it's
love
like
the
a
smell.
skin contact wine kind of to me, right?
Yeah.
Like an orange wine.
It's super. I have tried this one, but I feel different in a glass because I did try it out of the can.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a super big tea girl, flavor wise, but I actually like it, and I feel the end, it is tea on the front, and then the end has a little bit more of the bitter or earthy flavor that I'm makes it more cocktail-ish.
Definitely.
That I could definitely sip
layered.
it in a glass.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this in a fancy cocktail glass with maybe a garnish
Like a
of some
spritz
sort.
glass.
Yeah.
That would be so
Would
nice.
you put a
on-
cube? Would you do this with ice?
Yeah.
That can make such
A
difference.
giant cube. Yeah.
One giant cube.
Yeah.
I want to put an umbrella in it.
Ooh,
Yes,
You know?
That's
that too.
appropriate.
I'm just thinking
It's
like
mint
a
lime. It's-
yeah,
Yeah, it's
Arizona.
mojito-y kind of, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Arizona summer necessity because it's so
100%.
refreshing.
I know, it is really nice and light. It's not sweet at all. It's got, or I don't, you guys don't think it's sweet, do you?
No,
It's more bitter.
It is more bitter. It's more adult and layered like a cocktail kind of would be.
Mm-hmm.
A tea cocktail.
How does it describe it on there, Ellie? In the can, it says bitter, herbaceous, and something else on the side. It's
Yeah,
pretty
and energizing and bright because it has the fermented green tea. That's likely where some caffeine is coming from. So this would actually be a great coffee replacement or addition. Yeah, a good going out drink or midday drink,
Yeah.
which I love. Those are definitely, I'm impartial to the lightly caffeinated bevs.
Us too.
Especially,
Yeah.
at 3, 4 p.m. when you want, maybe that happy hour vibe, but you're still working and you're tired because it's 3 o'clock in the afternoon. This hits.
Yes. This is good.
And this is from Brooklyn. This company hit us up not too long ago. It's kind of newer to the market. I also love that it comes in bottles. It has the full size bottles, which are so beautiful.
I saw those.
They are.
Yeah, they are such a nice option for people who are going to gatherings. That's one of the things that we really appreciate about the brands who've been able to expand both like into cans and into a larger volume size, is just it makes it more or gives people more uses of like, you know, I don't want to buy a bunch of like kind of pricey cans, right? It can kind of add up if you're going to buy a bunch of individual
Like having
cans
a
for a party.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Or you just know you love it and they're like, okay, I'm going to buy the bottle now because I'm not going to buy like 8 cans.
But it is nice too. The bottle or the can is like a little gateway, you know? It's like you can dip your toes in to all of these different options, and then you can come back and go all in on what you really love. So
yeah, best of both worlds.
Are we doing
shout out to Uso? Yeah, let's have some Kin spritz.
Okay, we're gonna be caffeinated.
You guys tell me about Kin, because I know that is like a market staple and has been here probably since the beginning.
Yep.
And that you all love it. What do you love about it?
Kin has been around since day one.
Thank you.
And we ride or die for Kin.
Mm-hmm.
We love its functionality, that there are 4 different Kins we have, all of them with different levels of, you know, functionality, in that this one being the most caffeinated and uplifting Kin Spritz. This was the first one that came out too, this and the Light Wave. This has 50 milligrams of caffeine, so it's about half a cup of coffee. It's very bitter. It's kind of that like Italian aperitif vibe. And the other Kins go down in level of caffeine to the next one, 33 milligrams.
Yeah.
Then there's just kind of like a middle ground one that has like L-theanine and stuff in it.
Mm-hmm.
And then Light Wave is more of like a sleepy grounding time. So I like that spectrum that Kin has, where you can like find a functionality in each of their beverages.
Yeah.
I am like severely addicted to these.
Yes.
We're
trying to get her into rehab actually, because the Kin.
I don't want to go
Kin rehab.
If this is
Kin
wrong,
rehab.
I don't want to be right. Like
We're trying
I'm
to
obsessed.
get Bella Hadid to pay for it too. You know?
Yeah, I will say that is one of the reasons a lot of people were put onto Kin, is that Miss Bella Hadid, the supermodel, got involved in the brand in the most recent few years, kind of joined on as one of those celebrity co-founders, which
It
no
did
shade,
well.
you know, it worked,
It
you
worked
know.
really well.
And the product is really great, and Bella represents the brand really well. The other co-founder is a woman named Jen, and they have really, like, I think led the NA movement or trend online forward. They have so much marketing, you know, that it's one of those NAs that will bring people into the market, which is awesome. People will, you know, go on Kin's store locator website and find us as one of the few retailers in Phoenix. And it's oftentimes how people find us. And then they discover all these other NAs as different options too. So yeah, Kin has always been like really great brand for us to work with. It's mutually beneficial. And like I said,
we drink them all.
I'm
the time.
addicted.
Yeah, you have to order enough that can
For us.
supply your addiction as well.
It
really
that was
is
my first
good.
sip. I was talking too much.
It's
Not
really
drinking
good.
enough.
And yeah, I was going to say, I know Jen a little bit too, and have had a relationship with her, and she's so smart and like knows so much about the ingredient. Like just when she speaks, I'm like in awe of how much she knows about, and like how much intention she put into developing the recipes for Kin, with all the adaptogens and ingredients in there, and how she describes the spectrum is purposeful, that she's like, I want people to be able to go from this one to this one to this one to this one like all day, and essentially dose themselves too, where it's like the ideal amount of Kin is like 3 to 4 cans of something. If you're looking for the energetic one of this, you would have like 3 of those to like really be feeling it, obviously with 50 milligrams caffeine. That would be more of a normal amount, you know, of like a cup of coffee or something like that. So I just think they have great marketing and branding, but also the intention put into it was authentic and well researched, that I'm such a fan that even if it's like, whether I liked it or not, I feel like I would just be a fan anyway. you know, like,
yeah, right.
but then the
Yeah.
flavor like
I think-
happens to be great too. And I do think, like you said, it brings people into the market. I also think Kin brings people into the NA space because it's something they see all over their Instagram or now in stores too, like that it can be the gateway,
Mhm.
yeah, of like stepping your toe into what a functional beverage is.
You know how they describe this? Which I also love reading the descriptions on
Mhm.
cans because they're like so romantic. Like
These are good.
this is herbaceous with a kiss of citrus. Ginger, orange bitters, and hibiscus combine with warming functional botanics to deliver a sensational journey towards enlivened peace.
That is what it feels like.
That's
Sensational
honestly,
journey.
I couldn't have said
Hits.
it better. Enlivened peace? That is what I feel every
Yeah.
time I drink one of these.
Yeah, Kin does it right, I think.
We're just floating above the couch.
Feeling it already.
Okay, they also have a proprietary blend, which is pretty cool. I'll call out too. Like they combine GABA, L-theanine, which is an amino acid for like cognitive abilities and easing stress. They have 5-HTP, which is very restorative from
Mhm.
you know what I know. And also they have like some different roots and extracts in here, and all of that together is their secret sauce. It sounds like.
So
I was
good.
going to say you were really brave for diving into reading the ingredients list. I was like, some of those things are hard to pronounce, even for us.
I left a few out.
You did really
On
well.
purpose.
All right,
All
what's
right,
next,
we're
Mish?
doing Good Spirits, which is actually really funny. I already had one of these today. Go figure. I drank the beverages we're drinking now earlier. This Good Spirits, have you had these too?
Mhm.
Oh my gosh, they're a little bit more of a new brand to us, at least here in the market.
Yep.
We are obsessed, as we are with all things that are here. 35 milligrams of hemp and vitamin B12, which is so freaking cool. Oh, it's juicier looking than
Wow.
I recalled. I drank it out of the can today. See, it's fun to
Mm.
pour. So this is the Austin Palmer, they call it. A refreshing lemonade and black tea flavored beverage.
Yeah, and so this one has some caffeine in it then too. Is that right?
Has CBD, doesn't it?
Great
It
question.
does.
because
I
it's
think
the
it has
tea.
both.
Yeah.
Because of the tea.
It does say
Oh,
fresh
right.
squeezed juice right there.
Yeah, no, I think I posted this once when I was drinking one and tagged them and was like, I'm hoping the CBD counteracts my like over caffeination today. Like I'm feeling the jitters. And then the brand responded and they're like, there's caffeine in that too. And I was like, oh, like,
Damn it.
dang it. Didn't think about that part. I was just focused on the CBD. But I think it is kind of the same like goal that they're going for, of like the balance of is slightly caffeinated, but yeah, not getting those like caffeine jitters, and then has the calming aspects of CBD.
The tea brew flavor in this is so good. Like I feel like if Good Spirits just made like canned teas, they'd be bomb. It doesn't look like it would be a black tea or even an Arnold
No.
Palmer, but it really, really tastes like a fresh black tea that you just got like steeped, I don't know, in a restaurant or something.
It's tasty.
And these are from
For
Austin,
sure.
Texas.
Yeah.
You know, we had the pleasure of chatting with them too directly. Seems like it's still a pretty small brand in, you know, comparison to some of the others that we work with. So it's cool to see them be new in the market and be really well received. Like we've had to reorder quite a few times with them.
Yes.
Which
That's
you also,
great.
you feel like a level of like, not like pressure in a way too. You get really excited about a brand. You know, you like the founders, you like the product itself, you know, you're really excited to order it and put it in the market or show it to people. And then some things take off and then other things are really a bit more challenging to get to stick or to introduce to a new market. And that's one of the things we kind of take on is oftentimes we're a brand's first retailer in Phoenix because we try to be like, you know, new and exciting.
Yeah, it's like an incubator in here, kind of, you know.
Yeah.
We're showing people new things.
Yeah. And I think it works. Like, and that's what people come here for too, is that they're not going to find the same old stuff. Some of the classics for sure, like in the staples that you want to keep having around and keep purchasing. But yeah, you guys do a great like rotation and staying up on the newest bevs. So
Thanks.
it makes it not, like you're competing with the best of them. So
there's B12.
this one is
hemp,
good.
Tea. That was really good.
Yeah, I like this one. I think it has very few ingredients, which is nice. Not sure that there's any. I don't think there's any preservatives.
No,
or
it's
stuff,
very
which is always
clean.
nice. I think they use cane sugar.
Water juice, lemon juice, or water juice, water, lemon juice, cane sugar, lemon oil, black tea, vitamin B12, and CBD. That's it.
Yeah.
It's always nice when you can read the back of something, especially a beverage, and like understand what you're eating. You're like, I know all of those things.
Yeah, going back to like the too much thing, I think when there's things that, you can't understand or it's a super long list, it's like that's when it becomes too much because it's proven that you can make a great beverage with a few ingredients. So that's when it's maybe a little suspect of trying too hard or what's the end goal here.
Yeah, a little sus.
Yeah.
Next is one of our favorite drinks. We drink it like it's water, like truly. Leisure. You know about Leisures.
I know about Leisure.
You know about Leisures. It's a
All
hydration
about it.
wellness aid, I would say. It's an electrolyte refresher, as they would say as well.
The cure-all.
It is absolutely our go-to for whatever we're feeling. Like a Leisure is always a nice add. Wow,
I can
the
never
color.
say enough.
This is tripping me out, putting everything in a cup like side by
I don't
forgot-
think I've seen a Leisure poured.
I
before.
actually had subbed this in for orange wine a lot during a dry January. Like the mango one, and it really subs in for like
I can
an orange
smell
wine
it from
kind of
here.
vibe.
Yeah.
It's
The
so
scent
juicy.
is strong. So juicy.
So Leisure has 3 flavors: mango, lemonade, and blueberry. Today we chose mango. They're all good. Everybody has their favorite.
Mango is my personal favorite though. Although
Same.
we'll get on kicks where we'll be like really into a flavor and then you just have to like jump to another one and obsess over that for a minute.
True.
Yeah.
I need to
I
be
love the
pouring it out
mango. It just does like everything. When I work events, I'll always have a Leisure, and this is one of the ones where you might think some of these beverages don't like do what they say, or you have to drink 4 of them to like feel that thing. This is the one that I feel like it actually does hydrate me and keeps me. I'll get headaches from like going to Flagstaff and being in high elevation from doing nothing. Obviously I don't drink there or anything, and like next day just headache. And I drank one of those the first day I was up there the other week and no headache. And I was like, I just swear by these. Like it really does what it says. Like it really is magic. And I don't know. And it tastes so good. I love that it's non-carbonated.
Yes.
Just compared to so many other beverages that we see that most are carbonated. It's just like nice to have something different.
Yeah, it says no bubbles, just vibes on the can, and we love that Leisure is not, carbonated or not sparkling because it is hard to find like NA beverages actually that are still. This is one of the very few that we've tried and have brought into the market. But I also love it keeps it simple. It has 700 milligrams of hydrating electrolytes, 10 vitamins and nutrients, magnesium and ashwagandha, and no fake stuff. So like it's nice and simple and like good for any time of day. There's a gym groundwork right next to us here at the market, and they're
owners.
They
come in all the time. They're trainers, everybody. We got the whole staff addicted.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And they come in and we're drinking our Leisure. We're just like, yep, Leisure.
It's leisure time.
And we did like sort of mention like a little bit of the founders from these beverages. So I'll have to shout out the founders of Leisure are awesome. Like I talked to Steve the other day on the phone, like
we were texting.
Yeah, we hung out and partied with these guys. They're so cool. They really like care about making a good beverage. They were athletes. They were former college athletes. And so like they were drinking Gatorade and stuff. And we're just like, wait, why are we putting this garbage into our bodies? Let's do it better. When they like crushed it.
Yeah. I describe Leisure as what you wish Gatorade was. Like when I'm trying to describe it to people, I'm
I do too.
Yeah.
I say like an adult Gatorade that's good for you. Like
Yeah.
that's all you need to know is it's amazing.
And shout out to like Leisure as well. Again, going back to the founders that we love to work with, because a lot of these brands have been getting, new retailers, big box retailers. Leisure in other states has been getting into like Sprouts and like these accounts that order pallets of their product. And sometimes we've seen that with other brands, like smaller independent retailers like us who aren't able to order, as much, kind of drop off, on the like priorities list, of the favorites folder. And, founders like the Leisure guys have really made sure that Monsoon gets just as enough like attention and care and like appreciation that these like huge accounts do. And as small fish and like a big sea, it feels like very, like rewarding, and that we should keep, doing what we're doing, even when we see some of these brands like grow and get into like Costco or something, it's still like cool to have options for independent retailers and big box.
Yeah, I think it's important for them to keep those relationships, even if they have gone big retail, because people, again, like this shopping experience, and this is their community. And yes, it's nice to be able to pick something up at Costco or Sprouts when you're there, but totally different vibe and experience of shopping in here and picking specially curated, vetted beverages along with all the other amazing treats and knickknacks and things in here. So I think brands are smart to do that and keep those relationships on both ends, as hard as it might be with production and for a small brand, for sure.
Yeah, brands, do you hear that?
Yeah,
brands.
Monsoon is an important client.
It's not brands, small retailers. Honestly, it is like the good fight to fight, man, being a small retailer.
I want to remember this place. I want to remember this moment. I want to remember this feeling. Organic adaptogens, natural nootropics, functional botanicals. Feel the float with Hiyo.
Okay, another one of our favorites, the final beverage of today's tasting is Hiyo.
Okay,
Hiyo is
pretty. It says feel the flow.
So good. It's a functional beverage. It's a functional seltzer and a non-alcoholic social tonic is what the can says. You've been familiar with Hiyo. What do you think about Hiyo as a drink, as a brand?
Super tasty. Again, I think the brand does it right with their marketing, branding, appeal to their audience. I feel like they're they're one of those people who are in some big retail and small retail, which is nice, again, that they're like able to accommodate both. But maybe I take them for granted a little bit because of that I'm like, I can like find them wherever. I don't need to get one today. But so maybe I need to give them a little more love. But I haven't tried this new flavor. There's one, I think maybe it was watermelon lime that I was like, this is amazing.
That is my
that one's
favorite
like,
flavor.
They nailed that flavor.
It's hard to do watermelon, right? Like, you don't see watermelon as like a flavor for a lot of NA things, or a lot of beverages in general, because it is hard to do. But Hiyo does watermelon lime really well. This tastes like a gummy candy, right? Like
this one,
not
which
sweet,
I'm a fan,
but like, you're like, I like this.
I love it.
I think for me, strawberry is hard to do right in beverages. It can really taste like old fruit to me sometimes. This does not.
Or like artificial.
Yes. Syrupy.
You know what?
And this is very real.
This smells like those little strawberry hard candies that you get at your grandma's house.
Oh, it does.
In the dish.
It's like in a nostalgic, yummy way.
Wait.
But it's not that sweet. The smell is sweet.
The smell is sweet,
The guava, I think, keeps it from being like...
Wow. I don't even know if I've had this new flavor.
Yeah, only 5 grams of sugar in the whole can.
That's amazing.
That's pretty incredible for something that is like fruity and sweet.
And 5% juice, is that what it says on there? Because sometimes when stuff has juice in it... Oh, I thought it said it up here.
Does it?
On the top.
Yes.
5%.
Good eyes.
Thanks. I saw when she was pouring.
You're like, I've
it.
only sold like
I like
200 of them,
juice,
so I've
so-
seen it a couple times. No, yeah, they have L-theanine as well. The green tea extract, ashwagandha.
You don't even need a candle.
all
Just
the
open
goods.
beverages. This room like smells amazing.
It does smell
Yeah.
amazing right now.
There you go.
This I describe to people as what you want in a like White Claw or like a High Noon. For those people who
Oh.
are trying to replace an alcoholic beverage, like if you're in the mood to have some seltzers at the pool or like at the river or something, like the Hiyos fit in great with that environment, I think. Like these are feel the float. I feel like I was like drinking some water.
Like, did you plan that out?
No, I didn't. That's just the vibe that I get with the Hiyos.
So if you're going down the Salt River,
Yeah.
I agree. Perfect description. And I'll start buying this one now. I do like this flavor.
We just put you on to
Mhm.
Hiyo. They're a great brand too. So, we love to support them. We order a lot of Hiyo and it's always one of my like top few NAs that I suggest. So it seems like there's something for everybody.
It
know?
does.
Isn't that cool?
isn't that crazy cool?
It's cool.
I love that. And that's
Me too.
5 beverages out of a whole couple fridge fulls that we have. And yeah, we're literally talking to beverages all the time about getting into the market. So it's really exciting to be in this space right now at this time, I think.
Agreed. It's only going to go up from here. More brands, more innovation with the technology and production and stuff, which I'm really excited about. I hope that happens with non-alcoholic wine. I know is working hard, and beer too, where just like the way they produce it, there's so much room for improvement on flavor that like is happening currently. And I'm excited, to see where the category goes.
Absolutely. There's so much room to go and so many beverages to be enjoyed. And we can't wait to just keep it going. We're going to be having a pool party soon. I think we'll definitely be bringing some of these NAs to our pool party as well as some of the natural wine. We also bring a lot of the No and Low, which is an alcohol removed wine, out to events like that as well. So the NA wine and the NA beer is really tough. So we've found what we think when we consider to be some of the best brands. In addition to all these functional feel-good beverages, you can also just find a classic alcohol removed, beer, glass of wine here.
And spirit too, like there's the spiritless, there's Monday has whiskey, mezcal. So you can have all those options that you want if you're
anything you're craving, you really can satisfy that. I always say like nothing satisfies a beer craving like a beer. And I am so thankful for Athletic, Best Day Brewing, like so many, there are some great, good quality, high quality ones now that that's like one of the things that drew me into the non-alcoholic space was having a non-alcoholic beer that was so hard to let go of when I was trying to stop drinking alcohol. That is so special to me that I can have my beer and not have alcohol. Like such a simple concept, but really profound for certain people, liberating. I know sometimes it can be triggering for certain people, and for other people it's liberating. So that's one of my first being brought into the NA space, and that I'm so grateful exists.
Well, we're grateful it exists too, because it's become a huge part of what we do at Monsoon Market. And creating a shared space for people to have a good experience, to never be bored, to have fun with what they're, shopping for and sharing with their friends has just been such a cool experience for us to go through. And, now ambassadors ourselves of the alcohol-free community. And we're excited to just see how Phoenix continues to make space and create more options for people who are not drinking. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Speaking of that, if restaurants in the Valley or anyone wants to get a hold of you because you're doing alcohol-free consulting and know, the space really well, we're always wanting more local restaurants to offer NA beverages on the menu. How do people get a hold of you?
Yeah, I would say you can honestly DM me on Instagram. Dry in the Desert, all one word, all together. That's kind of how I run my whole business, the whole show. Email as well, if that's more your style, which is dryinthedesert@gmail.com. So again, simple. And yeah, just reach out. I love connecting with people locally just to make that relationship too. Nothing businessy has to come from it, but just knowing someone somewhere, or if they need support in any way or have a question, always available to answer. So
your community is strong. Yeah, I know that a lot of people find what they're looking for, like you said, just someone to kind of bring them into it. And so you do a really good job of cultivating that community, and have that through Instagram is a great way for people to find you.
Thank you. Yeah, that's basically how I've built everything for Dry in the Desert, and that keeps it simple for me to keep it all in one place, and seems to work for people to connect. And I've connected with so many people like yourselves in the community just through Instagram, which is pretty incredible.
Yeah. Well, thanks for being here with us in the market. We'll definitely have to have you back soon for an event in the market. But for now, wrapping up another episode of Two Valley Girls podcast. So much fun to drink some drinks with you, Ellie.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, cheers. Thank you.
Yeah, cheers.
Cheers.
Thanks for tuning in to the Two Valley Girls LLC podcast, presented by Monsoon World. Please subscribe to our Monsoon World YouTube page and follow Two Valley Girls LLC on Instagram, TikTok, and Spotify. Thank you to our sponsors and collaborators. Until next time, Phoenix and beyond.